Your last video has 800 views. Your friend's almost identical video has 80,000. Same topic, same length, same thumbnail energy, different title. The gap is not talent. The gap is words that survived an actual test. Most YouTube titles today are written by typing 6 words into a prompt and accepting the first thing that sounds professional. That feels like editing. It is mostly guessing in a nice font. In the next 10 minutes, what proof-based title engineering actually looks like. A normal AI title generator can give you 10 YouTube titles in about 10 seconds. That feels productive. It also feels slightly magical, especially when the titles sound clean, confident, and professionally shaped. But here is the problem. Sounding like a good title is not the same as being a good title for your channel, your niche, your thumbnail, or your audience. Language models are excellent at producing plausible language. YouTube does not reward plausible language. YouTube reacts to behavior, attention, patterns, and context. A title can be elegant and still be completely untested. AI is excellent at writing titles that should work. YouTube measures what does work. Those are not synonyms. The usual workflow looks harmless. You paste a video idea into a chatbot and ask for catchy titles. The model returns a list with strong verbs, emotional adjectives, maybe a number, maybe a little urgency. Some titles are bad, some are surprisingly good. But where did the words come from? Mostly from probability. The model is predicting what a title should sound like. It is not checking whether those exact words have worked in your target environment. That is the gap. It is not stupidity. It is a missing evidence layer. Polished is seductive. It feels like progress. But a polished guess is still a guess. The better question is not, can AI write titles? Of course it can. The better question is, what evidence is allowed into the title process before AI starts writing? If the answer is only your prompt, the output is mostly invention. If the answer includes real titles from videos that already performed, the process changes. Now, you are not starting from empty language. You are starting from proof of concept vocabulary, not guaranteed success, not magic, not a secret formula, but at least every important word has a reason to be in the room. Proof of concept vocabulary is simple. Take titles from videos that actually worked in a relevant context. Break them into words and structures. Preserve the strongest anchor idea. Recombine only what can be justified. That is a very different workflow from asking a model to invent 20 options from scratch. It does not mean the old title should be copied. Copying is lazy and often unsafe. It means the vocabulary has already survived at least one real attention test. That gives your judgment better raw material. But even evidence can be abused. A viral title from a huge channel is not automatically useful. Maybe the channel is famous. Maybe the topic was news-driven. Maybe the thumbnail carried the result. Maybe the audience clicked because they already trusted the creator. This is why source selection matters. You need criteria before inspiration enters the system. Channel age, subscriber range, recent upload behavior, topic relevance, all matter. Otherwise, you are not borrowing a pattern. You are borrowing a costume from someone with a completely different body shape. If you are still here, the next part is the one most title videos skip entirely. Even a perfect score can ship a wrong title. Because a score cannot smell the thumbnail, it cannot feel the audience promise. You can. There is a one-page title gate at the end of this video. 6 questions you run before you publish anything. Bring a candidate. Get a clean go or no go. This is where strictness becomes useful. In an ultra-strict process, no new content words are allowed. Every content word in the output must come from the input titles. That sounds limiting, and it is. The limitation is the point. It forces you to see what can be built from proven material only. A strict process can still allow small glue words, the, in, by, how, because grammar still matters. Exploration mode can be useful too, but it should be labeled honestly. Once the model starts inventing freely, You are brainstorming, not preserving proof. A title score can help, but it must never become the boss. A score is a triage tool. It can tell you whether the anchor idea survived, whether most words came from the proven inputs, whether the length is reasonable, whether the structure looks coherent. It cannot know your audience. It cannot guarantee retention. It cannot see the final thumbnail unless you include that workflow. So the right use of a score is comparison. A score is not a verdict. A score is a witness. Witnesses can be wrong. Verdicts pretend they cannot. This is how we think about Video Release Mixer, not a magic title machine. A title engineering workspace. You bring 3 reference titles, define channel criteria, choose a strictness mode, and generate rated combinations. In the stricter modes, the system protects the process from inventing content words too early. It can show why a title scored the way it did, preserve session context, include thumbnail previews, and export a PDF snapshot. The important idea is not the button. The important idea is traceable decision support. There is a privacy point here too. And yes, this connects back to video too. Title strategy reveals a lot about your channel before you publish. Topic, competitors, release direction, experiments. That is business context, not random text. In a bring your own key workflow, your own provider key is used directly. Results stay under your control instead of disappearing into a black box platform state. The workflow can be inspected, exported, and owned. That matters more than people think, especially before a video is public. The thumbnail cannot be an afterthought. A title does not live alone on YouTube. It lives next to an image, a channel name, a timestamp, and the viewer's current mood. A technically strong title can fail if the thumbnail tells a different story. A dramatic thumbnail can make a simple title work. So title work should include thumbnail context as early as possible. Even a rough preview is better than pretending the title will be judged in a blank document. Viewers do not click documents. They click packages. The one-pager handles this row too. Title and thumbnail context on the same line. Coming up. A practical workflow is not complicated. Collect reference channels using clear criteria. Pick one anchor title that matches your actual video topic. Pick 2 inspiration titles from relevant, high-performing examples. Generate strict combinations first. Compare top candidates with your thumbnail direction. Export the session so your decision does not vanish when the browser tab closes. If you repeat this for several episodes, you build your own title memory. Which words you kept, which candidates you rejected, where your channel voice is becoming sharper. The biggest mistake is thinking AI should choose the title for you. It should not. AI can generate, recombine, score, compare, and explain. The final title is still a publishing decision. It depends on the video, your channel voice, the thumbnail, and the promise you are comfortable making. If the title gets more aggressive than the content can justify, you may win the click and lose the viewer. That is not growth. That is a refund request paid in retention. So, the title gate. Section A, define your sources before you build. Section B, build strict first. Section C, 6 yes or no questions before you publish. Tape it next to your monitor. Faceless, YouTube Automation HQ.com/resources. Email in, title, gate out, completely free. No track-in circus, no upsell, no newsletter you did not ask for. In the next video, your folders are not a knowledge base, they are a graveyard for context. We will look at the difference and what it costs you when you treat them the same. For now, remember, constraints are not the enemy of creativity. They are often the only reason creativity survives contact with production deadlines.